We're ranked at the bottom of the list, and yet we spend more. We're ranked #1 for cost per student. We're ranked at the bottom of the list in education. I want Linda to put herself out of a job.
His intent is to provide quality education through school choice to all students. And he wants to make sure that education is back at the state level where it belongs, that our local school boards, that governors and teachers and parents are really the ones that are involved mostly in their children's education.
Education Secretary Linda McMahon making it clear we don't need the Department of Education. Despite the U.S. spending more money per pupil than almost every other advanced nation, almost 70% of American students can't meet basic standards for math or reading. Kennedy, I know you're a kindred spirit with me on this one. Let's talk about moving the money down to the state level. But let's pepper in there the fact that they're also removing the money from places that are consumed with like DEI and can't stop anti-Semitism on campus, like Columbia.
Yeah, and you know, also funding some of these transgender programs that are really preying upon some of our youngest students. But it's been very frustrating to see these public universities not do anything to make some of the Jewish students feel safer.
Right.
And, you know, their ability to freely associate and to speak freely, that has been compromised by these protests. And now the Trump administration is hitting back with the $400 million slapdown of some of the Columbia funding that the federal government has been allowing them to enjoy. But, you know, if you go back as far as you possibly can with early childhood education from K through 12, and we see the numbers in charter schools and the real success enjoyed not just by students, but by parents as well, incredibly high satisfaction rates. But it's interesting because the unions and the left always try and squash those numbers, even though that's the one glimmer of hope that we've got in this education picture.
Right. Well, David Webb, you know, if parents have a choice and you have a little competition in the education space, the one obvious loser from all that are teachers' unions, which is why they hate this stuff.
Yeah, well, pick up on what Kennedy said about the unions and take it further. What have the unions done? They've grown the administrative state within the school system. Case in point, New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, one of the worst. Once had 5 principals, number of, you know, principals on that superintendents. It ended up with 55 positions plus staff at one point in the early 2000s. That was growth and bloat. What did that do for education? Education's still failing. That's one microcosm. Ask Cory Booker about that because he was part of that failure. But when you look at the system writ large, education needs choice and localization. Instead of laundering money from the states to the federal government, back to the states at lesser value and impact. The needs are different in California than North Dakota, than New Jersey, than New York. And what you see with the choice movement from day one to now is the battle's been won legislatively. It's not over. There are still battles to be fought. But now more and more people are getting into the space by raising money, by funding, by bringing in resources to give these kids a shot at the American dream, not a shot at failure, which is what they have been doing in cities like Chicago.
So, Taylor, tied up in all this, President says, I want to move the choice down to the states. I want to give parents choice. He wants to close the Department of Education.
Right.
So he was asked, okay, well, like, how are you going to make that work with all the stuff that the Education Department does? Listen to how he responded to that.
If the Education Department were eliminated, how would you see sort of what department, what agency would handle student loans and the other types of federal grants that the Education Department?
That would be brought into either Treasury or Small Business Administration or Commerce. And we've actually had that discussion today. I don't think the education should be handling the loans. That's not their business.
Bingo. What's the business?
Thank you.
Who should be in charge of loans? Treasury sounds good. Commerce sounds good.
Private banks, actually.
That's who was removed.
They did a pretty good job at it.
But education should be in the business of educating, not in the business of handling finances, because we know that they don't know how to do that. I'll leave it here. To me, this has been always so personal because growing up, the left always says, we want to reduce inequality. But all of the education policies that they've been giving me increase inequality, because if I'm wealthy and I'm looking at the results, I'm going to private school. if I'm a lower, even middle class at this point, I can't afford private school, which means I'm going to the crap public school, and that's increasing the inequality gap.
Right,
the
right.
wealthy are getting smarter, and the middle and low income kids are stuck with the crap system that we've been born with. And I'm not okay with
And
it.
the bottom line is return on investment. We are not getting a return on investment. The more I was teaching junior high school shortly after the Department of Education was started in the late 1970s in Chicago. We were being bribed into using techniques that we knew weren't working. They insisted we get rid of all the old-fashioned techniques, the old method learning where you really have to study at it. They brought in all of these television sets, and they weren't doing a thing for the kids. We had to use that, otherwise we would lose the funding that we were getting. This was in a very poor section called Cabrini Green of Chicago.
Oh, my gosh.
You know it very well. And it wasn't working. The test scores were going down for the kids. Linda McMahon was asked straight up this morning, do we need the Department of Education? And she said no. N-O, period. I agree with her. It's been that way right from the beginning in the late 70s when I saw how it was working, which was terribly, right up until now.
Well, it's not the money, it's the structure. You know, it's like if it were a case of money, and if money would solve the problems, we would have the highest test scores in the world. We've got the opposite. So there needs to be a structural change, and that's where it has to start, from the top down.
Yep.
By the way, can you imagine how hard of a grader David Asman would be?
I was tough. I was student teaching for a woman who was a former nun, and she used to have a ruler that would slap it down on the desk of any student. But they came back and were in love with her because she had the old-fashioned methods, drove up the test scores. She was driven out of her job by these new education folks who came in with their crappy methods, to use your word, crappy methods that didn't work, that were demanded by the Department of Education.
And they tell you that math is racist.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where the DEI
I never got that one.